Sam?
How many different types of plants are there?
How many different types of
Plants.
plants?
Yeah.
In Scotland?
In Scotland.
Oh, well, it's all the same sort of plants up here as there are down in England now, but we do have different trees. We do have the Scots pine, but I think you can get that down there as well. But it's quite a famous tree up in Scotland. But I don't know how many different types there are. There's probably millions.
Maybe ask about the weather?
Have you got another question for me?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
How much rain do you get?
How much rain?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can't give you a specific amount because I don't know the answer to that. But all I can tell you is now we get a lot more rain in Scotland than you get down in Dorset. It's much colder up here, and every time you see the weather on the TV, we're usually about 3 or 4, sometimes 5 degrees colder in Scotland. But we still get nice sunny days, but not quite as many as you get.
That is amazing.
Okay, what's your next question?
How many people?
Oh, hang on.
Well, you found that
I
out.
think there's about 6 million
6 million.
in Scotland.
You could ask what the main differences between life in Scotland and England is.
What's the main differences in between England? In between
Yeah, England and Scotland.
England and Scotland.
Well, the main difference is, well, there's a few main differences now. There's a lot less people in Scotland than there is where you live, and it's really noticeable when you're driving around and when you're out in the countryside. There's a lot more space in Scotland, and also another difference is that obviously the weather. It's a lot colder. We get more rain. And in the summer we get more daylight than you get. Because we're more north than you are, so we get much longer days. So it stays light until sometimes, if you're really north, it can stay light nearly all night. You're really north of Scotland. And we have different pound notes and things than you do. It's different. We can use the same £5 notes and £10 notes, but they look different. I'm trying to think what else is different.
Ask her what the best thing and what the worst thing is.
What's the best thing and what's the worst thing?
What's the worst thing about living in Scotland?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose again it comes down to the weather. I wish we had lots of hot sunny days like you have, like really hot. That's one of the worst things. Everyone in Scotland knows about the weather. And also in the summer we get the Scottish midgie, and that's another bad thing about Scotland. When you go out into the countryside, you get bitten by these little tiny insects, and it sort of ruins the day when you go out in somewhere pretty.
And what's the best thing?
We're a long way from London. You know, that's where everything's happening in the UK. It's a long way to drive to get down there. And for me, one of the worst things about living up here is all my family live down south near you. And I have a long way to go to see them.
And ask
What's the best thing?
What's the best thing?
Yeah.
I think now that the best thing about living in Scotland is
It's
it's very beautiful up here, and it's not very crowded. And when you drive around, you never get stuck in traffic. Lots of lovely fresh air. That's the best thing about living in Scotland.
And ask Auntie Sally where she lives in Scotland.
Where do you live in Scotland?
Oh, well, if you get a map of Scotland now, and you look right in the centre, there's a big city called Glasgow, and there's a big city called Edinburgh, and I live right between the two near Stirling. So right in the centre, it's called the Central Belt. That's where I live.
Okay, so say thank you very much.
And one day you'll have to come up and see it.
Thank you very much.